natural testosterone enhancers and AKG and creatinine. But if you guys want to get something that will do for your body what steroids will do with no side effects and no toxins, just check out Morphoplex.com. That's a tremendous product.
All right. Well, we'll have to look into that. And that's good. That's good for raising testosterone levels. As you get
naturally.
older.
Yeah, naturally. And I tell you, I feel like a kid. I mean, I got the swell. I'm feeling good. The joints feel good. I don't ache, and I look like a kid. But I've been taking that for a few years, and it's really great stuff. And again, no toxins, no side effects. I don't mess around with nothing weird like that.
Go ahead, Violence Jack. You were gonna say something.
Oh, I was just talking about what an endorsement that is, and Morphoplex should probably, sign the Living Legend right now. And get some,
well, I've been helping them out. I've been helping them out with some advertising because I believe in the product, and they're very nice people, and it's a great product. So check it out on the website. You can read all about it.
All right, Morphoplex. You go to LarryZbyszko.com. MySpace.com/Larry Zbyszko.
Okay, just go to Morphoplex.com.
Well, yeah, but to get a hold of Larry Zbyszko, all the humanoids need to understand that you don't even have to know how to spell Larry Zbyszko's name. This is how famous Larry Zbyszko is. You put in Larry Z into Google or YouTube, that's the first name that's going to come up. That's it.
Really?
So, yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Because that's how. I had to do notes and stuff, and I had to make sure I had the right spelling of your name while I was doing the press releases and all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to make sure I had it exactly correct when I was putting the links out, everything. Put in Larry Z, the first name pops up. And it'll be it'll complete it for you. You don't even have to finish writing it out. It'll just come up.
That's weird.
Yeah, so it's not weird. You're the living legend, dude. And I know you're the living. You're the living legend, and with the living legend thing, I just wanted to get this before I let Violent Jack ask this thing. What was the thing with Chris Jericho and you a few years ago? Did that ever get settled out? Did you ever just slap him around and say, "Look, kid,"
Well, no, we worked it out. It wasn't a Jericho thing. That was something that the WWEF, whatever it was at the time, wanted to start calling him because they're trying to give the kid a push, and he, didn't know how to push him, so they started using that. But I just kind of, me and McMahon got in another argument, but I made him stop it, so it's no big deal.
Hey, you're not. What happened with you in WWF? You're not welcome there, or you think a Hall of Fame is in your future?
Oh God, no, I don't. I wouldn't worry about that nonsense.
I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, McMahon don't like me, and I don't care.
That's something that I often struggle with. It seems like some of the wrestlers might be bigger marks than any of the fans out there, and it seems like a lot of them put a lot of thought into this. Well, I don't know if I can work for this company because I might not make it to the Hall of Fame. Who gives a fuck about a fake Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I don't. I really don't. Yeah, I'm not even old enough for a Hall of Fame yet. So we'll see what happens when they run out of dead bodies.
Well, you're in the Awesome Bomb Hall of Fame.
Awesome, but well, thanks, guys.
You're in the top. Yeah, you're in the top of the fucking Hall of Fame. You and Andre and Ray Stevens. You guys are.
Oh
in the top.
God, yeah. They were good friends of mine, both of them.
Yeah. You guys, there used to be that whole style. I think you had it. You didn't have it later on, now maybe or later on, but at the early, when I see you wrestle Bruno early on, you kind of have a little bit of that selling style that Ray Stevens kind of had. Did you ever? I mean, is that something that you worked on, or is that just kind of your natural way of, when you get smoked and into the ring, you just flip and flop around?
Yeah, that was just my natural thing with me. Back in those days before TV spread nationally, I never even saw Ray Stevens or other guys like that even wrestle. It was just a thing that naturally came to me. So
I wonder if that's a body type thing, because nobody seems to do it like that anymore. Nobody ever seems to do it quite like that nowadays.
I don't. Who knows? Yeah, I don't know if it's a body. I mean, the guys today are great athletes. TNA's got some great talent, but it's just a lost art of character and movement. It's all high spots, you know.
Would you tell the guys to get gimmicks, maybe?
Would I tell them to get gimmicks?
Yeah, like get a gimmick instead of just being like a guy's name, you know, like they have this NXT thing out and everyone just comes out, it's like just some name they made up, you know, and you can't even remember who they are. Even if they're good, you can't even remember who they are.
Well, you don't need like a gimmick, but you need an individuality to where you're different than everybody else. And a lot of the guys today are so much the same as everybody else.
It's almost just afraid to stand out.
Yeah, and really it's not even up to the guys anymore. You know, I mean, McMahon's going to tell them what to do, so they're really limited in what they can do. But there's too many guys who are just like the same. I mean, I was watching an old, Nitro the other day, but just the characters, everybody was different, you know. And if you watch the Hall of Fame, Mad Dog Vachons and Ivan Koloffs, I mean, George Steele. I mean, there's no more big, tough-looking guys like that anymore. They all look like little 18-year-old kids or male strippers or something. They look the same.
They look like a lot of male strippers, male porn stars. You know, guys like Baker didn't have a great body as far as like being cut, but who wants to see a bunch of cut guys? I mean, I want to see
They all look the same. They're all 180 pounds. They all got abs. They all shave. They all got the hair. They all look like pretty little guys, and they all flop around the same.
I need Colonel De Beers back is what I need. Character.
Yeah, there's no good ones like that anymore.
Crusher Blackwell.
I mean, well, Colonel De Beers must have pissed people off. I mean, if you could think about it. I mean,
they used to hate him.
I mean, for no good reason, really. I mean, because most of the people in the audience looked like they were probably attending his rallies and shit, really. But they hated him because he was supposed to be a hated guy, And
but he was hateable. He was hateable,
Yeah, right. He was a really horrible guy. I don't want to keep you on too long, Larry. I want to let Violence Jack ask you one more thing, and then we'll let you go and get back to the ale house. Go to the ale house and rock with Chasen at Scott Hall, and we'll talk to Chasen next week about the Tool Academy. And oh my God, if you want to come on and bust, you want to come back on and bust his balls about it, man. Maybe you watch a few of those episodes and see what that show's really about. Oh.
Well, I tell you what, I'll be with him next week when he calls you.
All right, Violence Jack, go ahead. Your one last question for your fucking ultimate hero.
All right, it's going to seem like a boring one, but, I mean, I know you broke in with Bruno, but how'd you, what were you watching? Were you a fan first? What made you...
yeah, I was a big fan. I used to watch, studio wrestling in Pittsburgh, Channel 11, and I was a big fan. In fact, I was such a big fan and a big Bruno fan. The way I got in this wrestling business was I used to drive around his house, and I saw him in his backyard one day, jumped out of my car when I was 16 and crawled through his hedges in his backyard and introduced myself. That's how I met the guy. I just busted in his backyard. And the rest is history. It's all in my book. You got to read the book. It's really cool.
Adventures in Larryland. Okay, Larry, thanks so much, man. Thanks for coming on. And next week we're going to talk to your number one student there, Chasen Rance, and we're going to bust his balls a little bit about Tool Academy and find out what's going on with that. But it's awesome. Right. Adventures in Larryland, LarryZbyszko.com, and MySpace.com, Larry Zbyszko. Just Google Larry Z. It'll come up. Larry, thanks a lot, man.
All right, guys. Well, thank you. You have a good one.
All right, you too.
All
Thanks.
Right.
Ciao.
Well, there you go. There you go, Violence Jack.
Larry Z.
That was
Larry Z.
There's the man that you stood up for an entire match and fucking chanted Larry Z for an entire match in Detroit, Michigan at Bound for Glory. You're probably on a videotape somewhere doing that. And is that the night you almost got beat up by frat boys?
That actually, I think, was the lockdown pay-per-view in St. Louis when all the guys wanted to kill us. In Detroit, everybody was pretty much in awe of us and kind of afraid of us. And, yeah, that's the same night